Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Broken Sword, The Shadow of the Templars. With me, Classic Gamer, and we're not far from the end now. We're going to make a push a little bit tonight to kind of like get, well, I'm hoping I can complete it. I'm not that far away. I know I can complete it. Probably I'd say in the next hour, I hope. This bit here is not very long to do as long as you do it right. So yeah, so we're going to talk to Lopez because that's what the Countess said to do. So yeah, let's talk.
Hi, Lopez. Got a minute?
Certainly, senor. How can I help you?
I borrowed your mirror. I hope you don't mind.
No, senor. If you think it will be of help.
Do you know what this is?
No, senor.
Yeah,
Where did you...
it was hidden in...
And you, my lady...
No, it's cool. She realizes how important finding this key is. You must know just about everything that there is to know about this place.
See, I have lived my whole life here in the service of the Vasconcelos.
Do you know of a well anywhere around here?
Well, si, senor. This used to be a fortified villa. How can you last a siege without water?
Great! So where is it?
How should I know? The well was covered over in the last century. It was dangerous, you see.
And you have no idea where it was?
None. It was hidden even before my grandfather's time.
Well, you must have a vague idea of where the well is.
It must have been in the old house's courtyard, so that would put it around here.
Here? Okay. Now, how do we find it?
There might be a way. Let me think about it.
Any ideas yet?
We are looking for a source of water, see?
Yes.
For generations, the Spanish country folk have had a secret way of locating water, even if it is meters beneath the ground.
Ah, you're not talking about water dousing, are you?
Eh?
You know, you get a stick and walk around until the stick twitches and dig there.
Oh, you've heard of it.
Yeah, I think most of the planet has. Okay, let's get a stick.
Uno momento. It must be a special stick. A Y of hazel.
Right. Do you have any hazel trees?
See? Here. That is hazel.
Okay, this next bit is
Catch you
rather
later,
amusing.
Lopez.
Adios, Senor Stoba.
So that was what a hazel tree looks like.
Yes, George.
I went over to find a suitable stick. I don't believe it. There wasn't a single usable Y-shaped branch on the whole damn thing.
Okay, that's one tree, and people probably would get stuck. They probably would wander around thinking, where the bloody hell do I go? Well, if you come over here, there's no hazel tree.
It looked a lot like a hazel tree. Nope, I wasn't going to screw around with Lopez's hose, now that we were getting on so well. I didn't like the idea of carrying 30 yards of hose around me, so I left it alone. It looked a lot like a hazel tree. I went over to find a suitable stick. Aha! It was a thin, supple twig of hazel.
Okay, well, let's talk to the Countess. I want to try and talk to them about as much as I can because a lot of this stuff in the remake wasn't really put in, and I think they took out a lot of things, and they did that in number 2 as well, which I don't think was that fantastic. I think that was quite a letdown, to be honest with you. I think they missed a trick, if you like.
Hello again. Mind if I sit?
Please, be my guest.
Maybe not. I'll have a look around. that's okay.
My home is your home. I shall remain here.
There was a boar's head over the fire. It didn't look very happy. Must be hard to look happy when you're wearing a chimney breast. Now what the hell was I going to do with a hog's head?
I don't know. Might be able to do something, George. I don't know really. You'll think of something, I'm sure, my friend.
I couldn't go up there. A big chandelier, studded with plain white candles. Probably pretty impressive when all lit up. And it must keep the moth population down. Must have been traveling pretty fast when he hit the wall. I didn't want an example of the taxidermist's art. Must have been traveling pretty fast when he hit the wall.
Right, now it's time to actually get... not far off from the end of this Spanish bit. It's a lot longer in the remastered. You have a puzzle to do and you actually find the well.
Hi, Lopez. Got a minute?
Certainly, senor. How can I help you?
Well, I got my divining rod. Now what?
Simplicity itself, senor. Hold the wand at the upper ends of the Y. Apply a little tension with your wrists so that the slightest movement of the wand tip is clear, and walk slowly and steadily over the area.
Sounds easy enough. We'll find this well in no time.
Oh yeah, we'll do all the walking around. Lopez will water the lawn. We'll do some weeding. We'll sit like a lazy bugger and relax. We'll play a game with a hoop. Don't remember seeing that one.
Senor Stobart, you've found something.
This is it. This is where we find the secret of the Templars. Hidden here for hundreds of years. Lost from the sight of man until now. The mystery is revealed.
It's a tin can.
I've been walking up and down with a twig in my hands, looking for a tin can.
It had water in it. That's what the dowsing stick must have detected.
I'd have to check with an archaeologist, but I don't think the Templars left that.
In truth, Senor Stobart, the lawn was laid many, many years ago. This can could date back to the Napoleonic Wars.
Get rid of it and I'll try it again. Lopez threw the can away. It seemed to fall an awfully long way. The splash at the end confirmed what we both suspected. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle.
It has been here all the time. All those years and nobody found it.
Stood in awe for a moment, marveling at the secrets all around us.
I could have fallen down that.
The well had been lost for decades at least. The air was cool after the noon sun, but that's not what gave me goosebumps. I have a really, really bad feeling about this. Thinking back to how long it had taken the can to fall to the bottom, I stayed as far from the edge as I could.
No, George, no! Idiot.
Sometime in antiquity, there'd been a rock slide. Big ones. I wished I'd had a hard hat. I'd need tools to move all that stuff. Heavy equipment that just wasn't available.
You know by the funny music that something is going to happen here.
A great stone lion's head with a gaping maw full of fangs. As far as I knew, nobody had cast eyes upon it for centuries as it stood, waiting in the cool shadows. The words of the psalm kept running through my head. Save me from the lion's mouth.
Right, we're just going to save the game, guys. I'm not going to call it video, but I'm just going to save the game. I'm going to go on for a little bit longer. Probably could get the next 2 bits of the game done in this one video, to be honest with you. I think it's only probably another 2 videos before I finish the game, if that's the case.
From a distance, the lion's head had been impressive. Close up, it was frightening. Hey, one of the fangs is a separate piece. A great stone lion's head with a gaping maw full of fangs. As far as I knew, nobody had cast eyes upon it for centuries as it stood, waiting in the cool shadows. The words of the psalm kept, save me. I could hear the sound of a lot of stone moving, and I knew I was in danger. Oh, very funny, you psychos.
Signor Stopper! Signor Stopper! Are you all right?
It's okay, Lopez, I'm fine.
Que susto me has dado! You gave me a scare!
Nice try, Templars. In the deep shadows, it was hard to make anything out. I wished that I had Leary's flashlight now. It just felt like a pitted stone wall. I'd almost been killed for the sake of a red herring.
Yeah, you need to use your mirror. On the remaster version, as you saw in my other playthrough of that, you actually have to do a puzzle. And it's quite frustrating.
There, in the middle of the door, I could see some kind of socket. It looked like this wasn't quite the dead end it had seemed. That rock face wasn't nearly as natural as it felt. In the reflected light, I'd seen part of it as worked stone. Now I knew what I was looking for. It only took a few moments to find it. And there it was. A worked socket, as smooth and perfect as if it had been carved only yesterday. It was a smooth, intricately carved piece of stone that had been concealed inside the great candle.
And we use it on this.
Open sesame! Another secret door. Before I left, though, there was one last thing to do. You won't be needing that replacement piece anymore, Countess. I found it with the children. You'll probably want to be alone for a while. I'll be out in the garden with Lopez.
George, welcome back.
Come in, Josh. It's good to see you again.
Is it?
Sure. What did you find in Spain?
Without Andre, we wouldn't have got this far, George.
Yeah, I know. The clues led to an underground chamber at the bottom of a well. The Templars had left a tapestry showing a chessboard. The white pieces were vastly outnumbered. There was a stream running across the board, and a Templar knight on a horse.
Does it mean anything to you, Andre?
No, nothing.
Maybe we should tell Andre what else you found, George.
There's a map and a Latin inscription to the west at the edge of the world.
George found that in a cave in Syria.
Yeah, where the assassin almost killed me.
Then we have got the burning of Jacques de Molay and the date, 1314.
From the window of the church in Montfaucon Square, one of the few places where nobody tried to kill me.
Then we have the image of a church that George found at the excavation. I don't recall anyone trying to kill you there either, George.
And finally we have the tapestry in Spain. Did I mention I almost got killed there?
Not yet, but I'm sure you're about to.
It was only my cat-like reflexes that saved me from certain death.
Cat-like reflexes, eh?
And while I was risking life and limb, where were you, Andre? Getting your glasses fogged up over an Etruscan vase?
That's enough, boys. Can we get back to saving the world?
Of course. My apologies.
He started it.
Well, the Latin phrase are the words of Julius Caesar. He was describing the island of Britain.
Are you sure? The map didn't look much like Britain.
How come Caesar described Britain as being at the edge of the world?
To the Romans, the Mediterranean was the center of the universe. Britain was a remote, unfriendly place inhabited by blue-painted savages.
It hasn't changed much,
They've stopped painting themselves blue.
except when they go to a football match.
They used an extract from a plant called woad, Icetis tinctoria. The Scots were using it until fairly recently in their wars with the English.
Fairly recently? I don't recall the Scots being at war with the English. How recently are you talking about?
I believe William Wallace's men used it in the 13th century. They might well have been using it as late as...
You can't remember, can you?
1314.
Ah, we're back onto that, are we?
Andre, what is it? What do you mean?
1314 in Scotland. The Battle of Bannockburn.
That would explain the stream on the chessboard. That's what a burn is. Right, Andre? As in Bannockburn?
Right, George. And it gets better. Tradition has it that the Scots were helped by a shock force of, well, can't you guess?
Knights Templar?
Yes, a group of outlawed Templars. They are said to have turned the tide for the Scots.
And it all ends at a church in the Isle of Britain at Bannockburn in a church.
What are we waiting for? I'll call a cab.
I can't go.
Andre, you've been loads of help, but
What George is trying to say is that you shouldn't feel guilty.
I was.
We understand you've got commitments. Oh, listen, we have to hurry. Let's go, George.
We'll see it through. Oh, and, don't worry about us.
Time to go. But I think we're going to leave this for the next video, guys, as this is a great place to call this a video. And I didn't actually know you could do it at this point, but you can. So next time we will start our journey to Bannockburn. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.